everybody, welcome to episode number 29 of the Trading to Glory. And if you have not been to this series yet, essentially we are trading to whatever we can get to glory, I guess. But we are not playing very many games. We are only trading, doing squad building challenges, and just seeing how high up in that coin total we can get. But right now we are sitting on a few investments, especially Team of the Week 4 and Pepe. Just pretty much Pepe. Arnautovic is one of them. We got Arnautovic here for 31k, Arnautovic here for 30k. Every single Pepe is 10,000 coins and below. We got that one for 8,900. We even got one for 5,500. But we also have Kramerich here, who we got for 19k, and then the other Kramerich we ended up getting for 18k. We can ignore the smaller cards that I'm going to be selling soon. And then we've also got an Eriksson, who I got for 274, and a Walker I got for 200. Now, one thing that did happen in the past couple days is that Team of the Week 4 cards have definitely dropped a ton. You can take a look here at the Lewandowski, who was over 600k, up to like 680 at one point, and is now below 540,000 coins. Now, he is slowly recovering. I've seen him as low as 504k, which I think that if he goes back down to that point, I will buy him. Now, I'm not like really eager to pick up a Lewandowski because that's a lot of my coins that aren't going to be liquidated anymore going into Halloween, which is kind of what I want to have. But if I can find a really good deal on Lua, I won't pass it up. Essentially, though, we do have marquee matchups to do, so that's how I'm going to start off this episode. But before we do the marquee matchups, make sure to slap a like on the video. Let's shoot for 1,000 likes on today's video, simply because you guys are absolutely just destroying every single like goal. I've got to start setting a like goal that you guys can't beat, so I'm going with 1,000 this time, which is, I mean, still possible for you guys to beat, but much more unlikely. I've been setting like 600 and 500. 1,000. If you guys hit this one, then I'm setting it at 1 billion just so you guys can't hit it next episode. So let's just go ahead and get into this marquee matchup. We got OM versus Paris, Ipswich and Norwich, Feyenoord versus Ajax, and Timbers versus Whitecaps. In terms of marquee matchups we've had so far this year, this is probably the cheapest. Every single squad is 7,000 coins and below. The cheapest squad probably being Timbers versus Whitecaps, but also Ipswich versus Norwich was super cheap as well. The only reason that OM versus Paris is even 7k is because you need to go with full gold. So this one, we need 3 players from Marseille or Paris, 6 players from the French League, then 2 rare players at least, 79 rating and 95 chemistry. Now, the hardest part about this squad is actually the rating at 79, because naturally you want to go with as many low-rated golds as possible, because obviously they're near discard price, while you get up to 79 and 80 rated that are a little bit more. So what we did is we went with a couple of higher-rated rare cards that we got for less than 1,000 coins, and then we were able to go with a bunch of those discard non-rare cards. So this is how we did it. We got Pele at center, or Pele at goalkeeper. At left back, we're going to go with Kurzawa. Kurzawa is one of the Paris players, but we actually do have an extra Marseille player in here, and that's going to be the center backs here with Rolando and Abdennour. So as you can see, we actually have 4 players from Marseille and Paris combined, but ultimately the players at the defense are very cheap. We got Rolando for 700. Abdennour is about the same price. Even though I have him first owner, you won't need any loyalty in any of these squads. We're going to go with Henriques at right back, and then our center defensive mid on the left side is Coziello. Our center defensive mid on the right side is going to be Sebastian Rode. Our left winger is going to be Balde Diao. And before you guys kind of stray away from wanting to do this, Balde Diao is only 800 coins. So just stay calm. He's not that much. He does seem like he would go for more, but I was surprised as well. Tielemans is near discard there, and then we link them all up at Monaco on the top with Jovetic. So obviously we go with one more rare player than we needed to, but it does help the chemistry in the end. And then we go Hoffman at right mid. So a very cheap solution, 79 rating and 98 chemistry. To complete it, we get a gold players pack in return, so let's go ahead and submit that again. That squad's only about 7,000 coins, 8,000 coins if you bought at a terrible time, and then probably like 5,000 to 6,000 coins if you ended up sniping the players. Moving on to Ipswich versus Norwich, where we need 1 player from both the squads combined. So what I did is I went and got 1 Norwich player, the cheapest Norwich player, but we built a small little EFL championship side next to it. So we do only have 4 players in the squad from England. We have 5 players from the championship and only 1 player from Norwich. And then we went with a different league on the right side, which we will see is going to be the Bundesliga again. So Riemann's going to be our goalkeeper, but let's go ahead and start it off by going with the left side of the squad, which is going to be the championship team. This is Earl at left back and then Baker at center back. Those are 2 cards that'll get strong links with each other. We're going to go to the midfield here where we have Reed, who's going to be the cheapest Norwich player on the team, and he is 500 coins for Norwich. Then we're going to go with Miller at striker, and then as you guys can see, we don't go with an English player at left mid, mid because the English left mids are more expensive, while Grozicki you can get for 600. Not quite discard, but pretty close. Then on the right side of the squad, we're going full German here, where we have Bad Stuber at center back. At right back, we're going to go with Pekka Riek. We don't need to go with a German there, considering he's going to get a weak link there, and all the Germans are going to get strong links with each other, so they're going to get enough chemistry to get even more chem than we even need. Holtby is going to be our right center midfielder, and then our striker is going to be Kiesling, while our right mid is Nikolai Moeller. So there you have it. We're going to have a total of 100 chemistry. You could even play somebody out of position if you needed to, but I don't see any need to with this squad. They're very, very cheap players, guys. You can't really go with the exact same players in terms of like bronzes, because if everybody went with the same bronzes, then they would be more expensive. But I can tell you that I went with some of the bronzes that had so much supply at 200 coins, except for that left back I got for 250. So really all you got to do is go EFL Championship and English, and that's all you need to do, and find the cheapest one there to complete it. So let's go and submit that. You get an Electrum Players Pack, which is not too bad in terms of a reward. Obviously there's only one rare card there, but you get a lot of players that are non-rare, and they could go for something, depending on like some of those league squad building challenges, they have inflated the prices quite a bit. Then we've got Jumbo Premium Gold Pack for this one for Feyenoord versus Ajax. We need to pretty much go with a full gold team because we need an overall rating of 77, and you need 4 Eredivisie players. Now, this is kind of a weird squad to go with 4 Eredivisie players, so you either go with the defense normally, you would go with goalkeeper, center back, and either one of the fullbacks, or you would go on the attack, left mid, striker, right wing, and then go with one of the center mids and try to hybrid it in there, or some people just go full Eredivisie, which I suggest you don't do. So what I did is I actually went on the attack because, as you guys know, Netherlands is kind of known for their 4-3-3, so there's a ton of left wingers and a ton of right wingers, and they're very, very cheap. So I went on the top. We'll start with the attack. Bergui, who's from Feyenoord, and then we at striker have Huntelaar, and then at left wing we're going with Boitis, who's actually also from Feyenoord, but he is the cheapest left wing in the league right now. So those are all quite cheap cards right now, about 650 coins, the right winger being 800. So we've got strong links there, and considering they're green links, we don't need to link them with the midfield. So what I went with is I went with La Liga this time. So we're not going to go with Bundesliga again. We're going to go with La Liga because they're pretty cheap. We're going to go Solar at right center mid, and then at center mid we're going Gomez. Pardo is going to be our left center mid. He's going to be the only player on the entire team that doesn't have full chemistry. At right back we're going with Montoya. At center back we're going to go with Kjaer. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then we're going to go Christensen at the other center back. Our left back is going to be Baba to get a strong link with Christensen. And then, nice and witty, we went with Jensen, a Denmark player from the Eredivisie, to get that 4th Eredivisie player in there, and that's how we ended up getting the 4th one in there. We also have tons of chemistry left over. You could also go with, there's another Danish center back from the Premier League who's non-rare, who you might save 200 coins on. Instead of going with Christensen, considering we have more chemistry than we need, you could do that as well. So let's go ahead and submit that. We've got a Jumbo Premium Gold Pack, that's a 15,000 coin pack, and then we're heading into the cheapest squad, where we need 4 United States or Canada players, then we need 2 players from the Portland Timbers or Whitecaps, 4 MLS players, and 90 chemistry. Now, if you went full MLS bronze, it's still pretty cheap. You can get most of the positions for 350 to 400 coins, but they are bronze, and you can get those cheaper in a different league. So most of the squad is actually the Norwegian League. Now, I did go with my 4 required USA MLS players. Now, we don't need to go with any Canadians. You can if you want, but you don't need to. We went with McIntosh here at goalkeeper. He's going to be our first player from Portland Timbers. These are the only players that go for above discard in the team. We're going with Farfan at left back right there for 1,000 coins. Then everybody else in the team is going to be 200 coins or 150 on bid. So our first guy is going to be our right back, Rosenberry, who I got there for very cheap. And then our right center back is going to be Sinovic here. You can go with literally any center back or full back that is from the USA or Canada in these positions and be just fine, but they have to be from the MLS. We're going to go with L.M. Ronnie at right back, and the rest of the squad is pretty much Norwegian. You guys can look at the names, but ultimately just go with bronze Norwegians from the certain position. They're all essentially from the same league, so you don't got to worry about getting any single league. They're already all from the Norwegian league, it seems. Plus, you get more chemistry than you need. So if you ended up getting a left mid from, you know, some odd league, maybe the O Bundesliga or something, I don't know, that would still get weak links with everybody and ultimately 94 chemistry or 91 chemistry. So it wouldn't be bad at all to go with a couple players off cam. So you'd be fine there. Very cheap squad, going to cost you about 3,000 to 4,000 coins. So we'll submit that for a Jumbo Silver pack, and hopefully we can get something decent out of these packs. We have not had a good pack pull on this account since really that Mane from the Hybrid Nations at the beginning of the game. Starting it off with the Jumbo Silver Pack, we get 24 cards in this pack. So it's essentially the 15K pack of silver packs. That's essentially what it is. We didn't get a rare silver there, but hopefully we got some squad fitness, maybe some position. Well, I guess we can't get position change. Those are all gold, right? So hopefully we got some squad fitnesses in here. We got ourselves a League 1 CDM. I'm going to send all these guys to the club. We'll probably use them in some sort of squad building challenge in a later date, but really not a great pack. I kind of overestimated the amount of rare cards we got in this pack. So let's head into the good gold packs now. We're going to open the gold players pack, which is 12 players, 10 gold, 1 rare. It's essentially a 25K pack, but instead of 3 rares, it's 1 rare, so not as good as a 25K pack. Hopefully we can get ourselves something decent. It's not a board drop. We got ourselves a rare gold at least. It's going to be a CDM from Fiorentina, and it's going to be Sanchez. He's not great. He's not going to be selling for too much. Next up, we've got ourselves an Electrum players pack, which is essentially the same pack we just had, except for half of them are going to be silver instead of 10 of them being gold. And we are not even going to get a rare gold player in this pack. We get ourselves Robin van Persie at the Turkish league there. What was our rare card? A 91 pace player from the O Bundesliga. And absolutely nothing else. 2 more packs, but I saved the best for last. We've got a 15K pack and a 25K pack. 15K packs have done pretty well for me this year. Can I get a board drop? It's not going to be a board drop. It's going to be an Icelandic center attacking mid, Sigurdsson. That's not a great card as a gold player, but if I had packed him last week, or a week and a half ago, he would have been OTW. He still might go for something given the fact that he's an 82 rated player from the Premier League, and he's not got the greatest stats on top of it. He's only going to be going for a couple thousand coins. Last pack, 25,000 coin pack, 12 players, 3 rares. It's not one of the better 25K packs either, but I have faith. EA are going to come through. Something big here. It's not a board drop, and it's going to be a Japanese left mid in Nui. Fun fact, that's the first ever Ultimate Team card I had back in FIFA 14 in Nui. What a terrible pack run, and the bad pack luck continues. But hopefully you guys get a little bit more pack luck. Ultimately, I'll still make profit, but you can't help but be a little bit disappointed with opening a 25,000 coin pack and having 2 of your rare cards be freaking silvers. A couple days ago, I asked you to ask me any market-related question using the hashtag #TradingToGlory to be featured in the next episode. My Twitter is @EliteFIFA. Go follow me there. We're almost at 20K, and I'll be asking you guys to ask me questions maybe once every 2 weeks, so that you guys can actually get featured in the videos, and I can answer your guys' questions and put them in the Trading to Glory. Now, I won't do this like every episode or even once a week, but every now and then I will be doing some of these. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. The first question comes in from HaveGuessed1. He asked, will there be a huge market crash for Scream Team? And ultimately, the answer is no. The first big market crash of the year always happens on Black Friday, and that's how it's going to consistently be. Now, the reason that cards have dropped a lot more right now, you see Team of the Week 4 lower than what they would normally be. Gold cards have dropped a little bit. It's because there are some dumb people out there who are already panic selling for Team of the Year, which, as I've mentioned, is not going to be this week, guys. So stop panicking if you're one of the people that are panicking, and don't worry about it. Halloween is going to cause packs to be open, but there's definitely not going to be so many promotions thrown out at you that there's going to be a crash, and ultimately the demand is going to be high during Halloween because of the fact that everybody's panic selling now. So considering a lot of people have sold now, there's so many coins that are liquidated for people to buy cards during Halloween, which means that ultimately there's really not going to be a big crash, maybe a dip in prices at the most. The next question comes in from G is a Legend. He says, for discard informs, what do you perceive as the most you'll pay for one investing in them, and when do you start to sell? Hashtag Trading to Glory. So, what I do with discard informs is, firstly, I'm going to look at what has the best league, best nation, and highest rating in terms of the card so that they'd be used in squad building challenges. Because when I'm discard investing, most of my thought goes into, will these cards be used in squad building challenges anytime soon? Most of it isn't going down to the fact, will they be good enough to rise for people using them in the squad? Now, one of the cards that is an example of that is Fabra, who is a great card card, he's discard price right now. The only reason he's discard price is because he's Colombian and he plays at Boca Juniors, which doesn't give you too many opportunities to link him in a squad, but ultimately that card is very, very good. I think over time that card could kind of rise just because it's good. But realistically, I'm looking at Lecomte. The most I'd pay for him right now, he's about 15K. I'd pay no more than 12.5, and that's at the most. I like to get my discard investments at actually discard, which is when I quick sell them, I don't want to lose more than 500 coins. If I were to, get bored of them as an investment, I want to be able to quick sell them for really no loss. It's like literally a no risk investment. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to discard investments. And when will I sell them? I'll hold them for a long time if I need to because they're discard. Now, the only times I'm going to sell them is if I get impatient and I need coins liquidated, or if they are going to be hyped up for a squad building challenge, or they are in a squad building challenge. Obviously, I'm going to sell them then. Joey VBH asks, what are we expecting from higher rated cards during Scream and Team of the Year Panic the coming days and week? Now, with the Team of the, the Scream cards, that is, with the Scream cards and not Team of the Year Panic selling, because Team of the Year is not going to be coming out soon, but for the Scream cards, thinking of the squad building challenges, what I was just mentioning, those high rated gold cards like Buffon, that 89 rated, and then like 87s like Verratti, and 86s like Pepe and Miranda, they're most likely not going to be used too much in squad building challenges for the Scream cards, because last year we saw very low ratings, but a lot of them were expensive because you needed Scream cards in the team. So, are they going to rise much? Probably not. However, a lot of people will probably be looking to do the Icon SBCs, and some people will have waited last minute to do Harry Kane, which has an 86 squad building challenge requirement in there, which could balance everything out. So right now, in terms of high-rated cards, I think they're at mostly the lowest that they might get, just because of the panic selling for Team of the Year, as you mentioned, because that kind of hype and that Team of the Year panic selling is right now. That's happening as we speak, and before even Halloween promotion is released. Now, the Halloween promotion is going to be released the day I drop this video, so you guys don't have too long to prepare. However, I can't see too much demand going into the Halloween right away, because what we see on big promotions like this, especially like Black Friday, is people will prepare early, and then on the Thursday would be the best time to buy cards, and then on Friday, right when those big promotions drop for Black Friday, there's so much demand that it actually outweighs the supply which is coming through from Black Friday, and prices actually go up initially. Now, there are different points in which you can buy and sell during Black Friday, but we'll get into that in a couple of weeks. For now, we got to talk about what's going to happen on Halloween, which is going to be a very similar trend. Right now, it's Thursday night, exact same kind of situation, and prices are really low because people are panic selling for both Halloween and the Team of the Year panic, which has been sparked by big people like Bateson tweeting out things about Team of the Year and stuff like that. Sean Michael McAdam, which is interesting because my first name is Sean, my middle name's Michael, but I digress. We'll go ahead and move on to the question. Trading to Glory. Will gold players always rise whenever they have informs, or will it be only for the first couple of weeks in FIFA? And I really am happy that somebody asked this question, and I think I've actually mentioned it in the streams before. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it in the Trading Glory, but it's kind of ridiculous that people are still just super investing in cards that are going to get informs, when realistically, if people are over-investing, you're going to want to just go ahead and sell into that hype when people are over-investing. You're not going to actually want to wait till the end of the week while they have their inform. It only worked in the first couple of weeks because if you think about it, in Team of the Week 2, those cards had only been in packs for like 6 days, and they're going to be out of packs for 7 days, which means that anybody who wants to buy them is going to be buying one of the cards from the first 6 days, and there's not that much supply, which means that the cards go up. That's essentially the idea that you're going for here, but now that we're 6 weeks in, they've been in packs for 5 weeks. They're not going to be going up very much when they get a Team of the Week. The only reason that they go up is if they're needing for a squad building challenge. So, for example, Icardi, which isn't a great example because he got over-invested in as well, but when he scored that hat trick, that meant that his card was going to be going up during the time he had a Team of the Week card because he's an 84 rated card from Calcio, which is used in some of those 84 and 85 rated squad building challenges. A better example is Berezutski, who's used in the Moscow squad building challenge within the Russian league. He got an inform this week, and he's actually risen a ton. He's gone from like 1.5 to like 3.5 thousand coins. But in general, these cards aren't actually going to rise that much anymore, and it's going to become less and less increase of price, and eventually it's going to become a decrease in price, at least for a period of time, until people realize this doesn't work anymore. And because of over-investing, as we get closer to the end of the weeks, they're actually going to be lower in price than what they were before they got the inform. Wigan asks, how do we predict what marquee matchups, or what source do we use? Well, essentially, I don't use any sort of source other than Google. I search up every single big league in the world, and not even the big leagues. I'll search up the Japanese league, I'll search up the Australian league, I'll search up the MLS, and I'll search up all these leagues and see what games are derbies. I'll see which games are rivalries and kind of put together a list, which we will actually be doing this episode. So if you guys stick around till the end, we will be doing marquee matchup predictions this episode. But essentially, that's all I do is I'll Google it, and if there's like Schalke versus Dortmund, of course that's going to be a marquee matchup. If it's like River Plate versus Boca Juniors in the Argentinian league, of course that's going to be a marquee matchup. If it's El Clasico, Real Madrid versus Barca, if it's like Manchester City versus Manchester United, or some other big game in the Premier League, maybe it's the Milan Derby, or maybe it's Lazio versus Roma. Those are very big games, and obviously they're going to get marquee matchups. So I come up with a list of those cards. I choose my 4 favorite that I think will get it. I'm never always 4 out of 4, but most of the time I'm 2 out of 4 or 3 out of 4 on my marquee matchup predictions. So I'm going to go ahead and get those going towards the end of this video. Wonder Kid asks, we shouldn't be panic selling, right? Example, De Bruyne and Lukaku. Asking for a friend, I'm sure you are. And if you're asking if you should be panic selling, the answer is always no. Why would you become one of them? Those are the people we make profit off of, okay? So never panic sell. If a card's dropping and you didn't expect it to drop, don't contribute to the mess that is happening. Eventually that card's going to recover, okay? Right now there's panic selling because of the Halloween and the Team of the Year hype, and that's just caused cards to go down. But do you see me panic selling my Eriksson Inform? No, of course not. I'm still going to profit off that card. At the least, I'll make my coins back after tax, which is all you could ever ask for in terms of a market crash. I invested in that Eriksson. He dropped in price. He got as low as like 265, and he's gone back up to 280. That's just proof that you should never panic sell. Same with like Pepe when he got his price range updated. His card went from like 30k, and within a half hour it was like at 15,000 coins, and obviously it's back up to like 17,000 coins now, and it's going to slowly rise back up. But that's just proof. Never panic sell. It's an easy question to answer. Rainieri asks, icon SBCs could have really impact in the market, or because of the requirements we see only pro players doing them. Okay, so basically what he's saying here is, will the icons affect the market heavily, or will only pro players do this, which really doesn't mean that the market's affected by them that much. But my answer is they will definitely affect the market, and we've seen that. Icon SBCs will affect the market throughout the entire year. They're going to keep the high-rated players with value. They're going to keep Pepe from being 3,000 coins, which would happen if squad building challenges didn't exist. Pepe would be 3,000 coins. If you guys remember in FIFA 14, Mario Gomez, 86 rated striker, German. He was at Fiorentina at the time, I believe, and he was chilling around 2,000 coins for the entirety of that game. The funny part, he was actually a very good player in the game, but he just didn't have enough demand to outweigh the supply of that 86 rated card. But if Mario Gomez was the exact same card with the exact same demand this year, but he had more demand from squad building challenges, that card would not be 2,000 coins. He'd be like 25,000 coins. It's just how the game works now. So you're definitely going to see icon SBCs affecting the market throughout the year. Not only pro players will do them, sure, pro players will do them, or they might just buy them off the market, but you're going to see a lot of people do them. Even amateurs are doing Rui Costa and Overmars right now. Only some of the, higher tier, the people who've opened FIFA points, are the really good traders, or somebody who's gotten lucky in a pack, have done Del Piero so far. That's pretty much the reason not too many people have Del Piero yet, but I've seen a ton of people do Rui Costa so far, and a lot more people will. I don't know if they're going to make them a little bit more expensive throughout the year. Maybe they'll make some people like Del Piero well over 1 million coins, and they're going to keep them this cheap, but I think they honestly probably made them a little bit too cheap the first time around. Maybe they did that so people would do them earlier in the game, but especially towards the end of FIFA 18, these Rui Costa and Overmars SBCs are going to be ridiculously cheap for you guys. So, yeah, they're obviously going to impact the market, and they're going to continue to do so for the rest of FIFA. The final question has kind of been answered already, but we're going to go and answer it again. Should I cut my loss at my Lewandowski Inform for 596,000 coins he bought it for? Wait till he rises. He's 570k now on PS4. Now, he sent this to me at 10:10 a.m. It's about 9 hours later now, or about 10 hours later now, so he's actually a little bit lower than what he was when he sent this tweet. But what I will tell you is definitely don't. Definitely don't. Right now he's being panic sold. Right now he's being undercut, and people are clearing out their transfer list just to have coins liquidated as they go into Halloween, which is you know, just unlucky for the timing you bought your Lewandowski. I mean, I was pretty unlucky with the Eriksen. I didn't really think that there would be this much panic for the fake team of the year, but essentially there is, and we're just going to have to deal with it. But hold on to him because he's going to go back up. I'm actually considering buying one very soon. So if you're going to be selling him, I will be buying him. I'm just saying. So I will buy your panic selling cards, even if it's you guys. Even if it's you guys panic selling, I will make profit off of you if it comes down to it. But I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to tell you, if a card is being panic sold, if he's being undercut, if he's continually dropping in price quickly, that's definitely not the time to sell. It's definitely not the time to sell. What I will tell you is, you know what, go ahead and follow this rule that I'm going to make up on the spot, is if the card isn't rising in price, don't sell him, okay? If he's not rising in price, don't sell him. I don't care if it takes a week for him to start rising in price. Don't sell him until he at least starts rising in price. Because if he's not rising in price, that means that you're just contributing to the undercutting, which is going to cause the card to go lower. So that's a new rule. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work out. I'm not sure if I've followed this rule, but it seems like a good rule right now, just for the basics, just for now. Now, if you guys are a more advanced trader, more advanced investor, you know, do what you have to do. But if you guys are just learning and you're just following the basics, we're going to start that rule for you guys, is don't sell unless they're rising. Because I think that is something that can prevent you guys from panic selling the cards as well. Speaking about our Eriksen just a couple of seconds ago in the Q&A, we're going to go ahead and check up on his price right now. Eriksen we did get for 274,000 coins. He also has a Hunter card, which is making him a little bit more valuable, but ultimately we got him for 274 there. And he did drop lower than 274 today. Unfortunately, we could have gotten a little bit of a better deal had I waited, but there was not much we can do about that. We didn't get a terrible deal on him, especially because if we had bought earlier in the weekend, we would have probably been paying like 300 to, you know, maybe 295,000 coins. And as I said, he dropped down to like 265k right now. But as you see, he's more than what we got him for, which is very good. And so right now he's actually up to 286,000 coins, which is 12k more than what we got him for. After tax, if we sold him for that, we'd be losing like 1,000 to 2,000 coins. Ultimately, not a big deal, but we do want to be profiting off that card. So I'm going to hold him even longer. Right now, he is rising, so that follows the rule that we just made. We could sell him now, but I'm going to see if he goes up a little bit higher. Right now, Lewandowski's also rising. He dropped as low as 504,000 coins I saw. I saw somebody in my stream sniped him for about 430,000 coins, which was pretty ridiculous. Right now, he's back up from 500k all the way up to 540. I can see him dropping a little bit because they're 3 at 540, but ultimately he is on the rise. And then Kramaric, a card that I said on Twitter, which again, my Twitter is at Elite FIFA. It's in the description. You guys go follow that. It's very, very useful in terms of trading. I tweet out a lot of things that can help you guys, including this. I said, right when the Team of the Week 5 was released, Kramaric was going to go up because I saw that there was no Team of the Week 5 informs that were 84 rated and cheap, which Kramaric means he's going to be in more demand as we get longer into the week, and people are still doing those Icon SBCs and the Harry Kane SBC, in which you need some of these high-rated informs for, and this card has gone up. He's over 25,000 coins, I can tell you that much. He's actually up to about 29,000 almost. I could actually buy that right now and probably profit off of it, considering that at this about price, we'd only be paying a little bit of tax. I probably would make about 2,000 coins. I'm going to go ahead and buy that, take my 2,000 coins on that Kramaric real quick, but essentially, he is about 28,000 to 29k. He'd easily sell overnight for 29k, which I probably am going to sell him tonight for 29k. There's less than 2 pages there, which is very, very good. But essentially, since we got him for 18k and 19k, that's a total of almost 20k profit on that card. And since he is in the SBCs, and until Team of the Week 6, really, we're not going to see him drop much. And it's the same thing for Arnautovic. Although he did crash again down to like 32k, he's back up to 35k, and that's essentially why you should never panic sell. They always recover. Same thing for Pepe. It's a thing that still some people don't seem to understand, and I know a lot of you guys that have been following this series are probably getting annoyed with me saying it, but the thing is that I'm still getting comments about it, and I'm still getting questions about it, and it's a simple answer, and I'm trying to just get it in your guys' heads so that you do not panic sell, and you always capitalize on when somebody else is panic selling. When others are panic selling, you buy. That's when you buy. That's when you do not sell. Okay? I just wanted to go ahead and reiterate that one more time. I promise it's the last time I go in depth in that. Okay? From now on, I'll mention it, but I'm not going in depth anymore. As I said earlier in the video, we would be doing marquee matchup predictions. I want to point out that Hibernian FC versus Hearts is a Scottish derby, but it's being played in the midweek, which gives it a less chance of being an actual marquee matchup. But considering that marquee matchups are now on Tuesday instead of Thursday like they were in FIFA 17, it does leave the door open for a possibility of them being in the marquee matchups. However, I'm going to put them in the other possibilities category just because of that. But my picks are going to be Olympiacos versus Panathinaikos, something along those lines, which is the biggest game in Greece, and they're normally a derby, or they're normally a game that ends up being in the marquee matchups whenever they play. Then we've got Tottenham versus Manchester United. They're my second pick because those are two of the biggest clubs in England, obviously. Tottenham is in form. Manchester United is in form. Very big game. Both teams are obviously going to go for the title this year. Then we've got Milan versus Juventus, and I think this is a big game because obviously Milan is historically a huge club. Juventus has won the title several years in a row now, but also Bonucci going from Juventus to Milan. That's going to be his first game against his former club, and since Milan had picked up a lot of players since the most recent window, I think that Milan obviously want to make a run for the title this year, even if they haven't had the best start. I think that this is going to be in the marquee matchup. Then we've got a Saudi League game. One of the lesser big name teams are going to be Al Hilal and Al Nasser. Al Hilal, one of the best teams consistently in the Saudi League. Same thing for Al Nasser there, and I think that's why it's going to end up being one of the marquee matchups. And the reason that I put them there is obviously because it's a big game in the Saudi League, but normally they don't do four big teams all in the same marquee matchup. They kind of have a higher tier marquee matchup, maybe some middle tier marquee matchups like Olympiacos, and then some lower tier marquee matchups like Al Hilal and Al Nasser. But some other possibilities to get in here are Birmingham versus Aston Villa from the EFL Championship. We've got Basel versus Zurich from the Swiss leagues. Then we've got Porto versus Boa Vista, and normally that wouldn't get into marquee matchups. It is a derby. However, normally the games that get into the marquee matchups from the Portuguese leagues are like Porto versus Sporting or Sporting versus Benfica, and interchangeable from there. Then we've got two games from the Russian league that are pretty big, and either of them could get into the marquee matchup. We've got FC Rostov versus Spartak Moskva, and Zenit versus Lokomotiv. All those teams are some of the best teams in the Russian league. Then we've got Hibernian FC versus Hearts. We've talked about that already. Bayern versus Leipzig. I put that in the other possibilities. Although it's a big game, Leipzig are in the top 4 right now in the Bundesliga, and Bayern are in the top 2. I'm pretty sure that they might actually be second and third right now. I haven't checked the updated table, but that's a big game. But the only reason I put it in the other possibilities is because Leipzig just had a game against Dortmund in which that was a marquee matchup. So I don't think they're going to do two Leipzig marquee matchups back-to-back or in the same, 3-week span. Then we've got Stuttgart versus Freiburg, which is a derby as well, and that might be a marquee matchup. That's one of the other possibilities as well. So those are my picks. We'll see how many I get right. As I said, normally I get 2 right. That's kind of my average, but sometimes I'll get 3, and I've never gotten all 4 right. So you guys can invest in some of the other possibilities if you do end up thinking that they are correct. I sold all my Kramerich cards. The one I got for 25K obviously is only making like 2K profit, but the other ones are making up to about 9,000 coins profit. So in total, about 20K on these 3 Kramerich cards, which is great because we actually made a ton of profit on a ton more Krameriches from last week, but we ended up selling those for a quicker profit and then ended up rebuying when he dropped again to about 19,000 coins. So when we did that, we were able to flip those for 28K. He could rise a little bit higher as we get farther into this week, but once this next team of the week drops, I definitely sell before then because there could be an 84 rated card in that team of the week that'll be end up being cheaper than Kramerich. So once there's an 84 cheaper than Kramerich, then Kramerich will drop with it. So that's kind of how it's going to work. So I definitely sell before the next team of the week, but no rush in terms of anything else there. We got Arnautovic still. I'm going to hold on to him for a little bit longer. He is a Team of the Week 4 card that we got for 30 and 31,000 coins. Right now, Arnautovic is chilling around 35,000 coins. And honestly, I'm looking for a little bit more profit on that card. Given the fact that he is somebody from the Premier League, he's someone who is a decent card. He also has a decent chance of becoming one of the Scream cards as well, given the fact that he's a 6'4 winger, along with the fact that he's also 4-star, 4-star. Just everything kind of points in the direction that this card will go up. Given the fact that he's a Premier League inform also could help you help him rise into next player of the month hype, which will be happening in about 2 weeks from now. So everything points in the direction of this card rising. So if you have him, definitely hold on to your Arnautovic. I can't see him dropping for really any reasons at all. He's not in packs, and even with the panic selling that happened today, he really wasn't affected by it. He has stayed the same price throughout. Pepe, you guys probably have a lot of Pepe still if you're on Xbox, and what I'd say is the longer you hold him, the better, but it's Thursday night now. I could take my profit here. Obviously, I'm making quite a bit of coins on my Pepes, and I could take over 100,000 coin profit on the Pepe right now. But what you got to understand is I have 15 Pepes on the transfer list. Every single 500 coins that Pepe rises, I get 7,500 coins. Every single 2,000 coins that Pepe rises as a card, I will make 30K. That's because I have 15 of him. So I want every single coin I can possibly get out of this Pepe. Now, am I impatient? I am a little bit impatient. And I do want my coins to be liquidated. That's just how I think. And it keeps me from holding my investments too long, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Obviously, sometimes they will rise up more over time. Sometimes they'll stay the same, and I can actually save some time by selling him early. But right now, he's 17.5K on the dot. There's only about a page of him, maybe a little bit more than a page there at 17.5. And he's also got a chance of being a part of the Scream cards, given the fact that Pepe has always been one of the most aggressive players on the pitch. And so, given that, I think that he could possibly get a Scream card. Here's what I'm saying. If he gets a Scream card, that card will eventually go extinct at 30K, or at least come very close to it. So is that a risk I'm willing to take? Probably. And also, Pepe, if he doesn't get a Scream card, would he really drop too much? He would be in packs during Halloween, but there would be new SBCs, possibly requiring high rated, not guaranteed. Also, last year they didn't require high rating, but it's possible that there is some sort of high rating squad building challenge. And if they were to drop some sort of thing for the FIFA Pro ceremony, whether it's just one SBC or some sort of like small promotion, which obviously wouldn't be Team of the Year, which is the biggest promotion of the year, which I think that they'll drop at the beginning of January, as I've mentioned several times now. And one thing I want to expand on with that Team of the Year thought is that they might just choose their own Team of the Year this year for January. They might not even go with the FIFA Pro World 11 this year. They could choose their own thing and then maybe do some sort of small promotion, maybe a couple packs, maybe a lightning round, maybe a squad building challenge that requires a high rating, which is obviously what you would need Pepe for. So that's why I think I'm going to hold him. Now, he could drop a little bit, which ultimately would kill my profit, because every single 1,000 coins that he rises might be 15K I make, but every single 1,000 coins he drops is 15K I lose. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and take that risk. I don't really want to sell him overnight tonight, because even if I take the risk, it's the same thing as I said with Player of the Month last month, is that even if I take the risk might lose me, 1,000 coins per Pepe. But if I end up, taking the risk, there's a squad building challenge that he's needed in, or he's a Scream card and he doesn't, and he's not in packs anymore, then that card is flying up in price. He's going to go from 17K up to 25, maybe 30,000 coins. So that's a risk that I'm definitely willing to take with the Pepe. So I don't plan on selling my Pepes right now. I've pretty much given you guys what I am going to do with all my cards, except for Eriksen and Walker. I have explained Eriksen. Walker, I will be selling before the Burnley game on Saturday. I'll probably use the companion app to list him. And remember, if you guys are using the companion app on your phone, be careful when you list the cards, okay? It might say that you're listing it for, say, 14,000 coins, okay? Let's say you're listing a card for 14K. It might say you're listing it for 14K, but what you need to do is always double tap the screen, make sure to refresh the prices, and type them in twice. So type in the min buy now once, type in the max buy now once, and then do it again just to make sure, because that's the companion app is so bad this year. You just have to be sure. You don't want to be listing up a card on open bid, obviously. You're not going to be making as much coins. You don't want to be listing a card for ridiculously cheap. You're obviously not going to make as much coins. So with that being said, be careful, but I will be using the companion app to list my Walker. But that's going to be it for episode 29 of the Trading to Glory. But episode 30 is going to be big, because that's going to probably include a lot of that Halloween hype. So I will see you guys then. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. Just finished editing today's video, and it was the longest episode yet, so I want to see who made it all the way to the end. If you made it to the end, if you're hearing me right now, comment where you're from in the comment section below. That's how I'll be able to tell if you made it to the end of the video, and I'll probably love the comment. I might reply to it as well, just as a thank you guys for supporting the series. And again, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.